Over here, we're exploring the life of Rabbi Yitzchak Chaim Vittorio Castiglioni today over here, because we are exploring the history of various different Italian rabbis, especially during the 19th and early part of the 20th century. So he was a chief rabbi, let's just say, of Rome. So we are exploring some of the highlights, let's just say, within regards to his life, as we're exploring the history within regards to that specific time period. Now, he become also, let's just say, a poet over there, mathematician. He was, as well as being the chief rabbi of Rome, it's reported that he had a chief-like authority within regards to Italian Jewry, especially between the years to 1903 to 1911. And it's also stated he would translate the Mishnah into the Italian language, I believe. Let's explore a few of the highlights of this famous man's life. Now, I believe he was born on the 25th of March in the English year 1840. We're talking about 185 years ago here from time of recording. He was born in an area called Trisata, I believe. That at that point of time, it was part of the Ottoman Empire, the area was. So he was born over there. And very, very interesting enough, I think it was part of the Austrian Empire, I believe, at that point in time. His father was Moshe Chai David, and his mother was Anita. I think she actually came from the Campos family, and very interesting enough. So it's actually interesting. He would actually, I think, learn Torah, or he would learn his Torah under the auspices of the famous Shadal, Rabbi Shmuel David Luzzatto, who was, I think, a famous rabbi at that point in time. He was a great nephew, I think, of the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, who was a very famous rabbi at that point in time over there. And I think under also the auspices of Rabbi Shabtai Elchanan Trius, I think, he would study, I think, with other famous rabbis at that point in time. He would study Torah with Rabbi Moshe Yitzchak Ashkenazi. Also, I think he would go under possibly another name, I'm not too sure at that point in time. And he would get ordained, receive a rabbinic ordination, I believe, come what the year 1861 it was. He would also learn mathematics over here. We're talking about, these were rabbis over here, were very worldly. They were very into academic studies, extremely into it. And you'll see that he would become a professor. Ultimately, we're actually related over in this series, made about videos about 5 or 10 professors already. So he would end up working in the chinuch field, education. He would teach maths, I believe, in Trieste for about 30 years, and then he would have the ranking, let's just say, as a professor. He would also serve as a deputy rabbi of Trieste, I think, for a long period of time. Now, come on the year 1903, he was appointed to become the rabbi of Rome over there. And I believe it was a year later he was inaugurated as a rabbi, I believe, of the Great Synagogue of Rome was inaugurated, I believe, and he would meet the King Vittorio Emmanuel III of Italy over there. So there was a close connection over there. He would serve in the rabbinate as a head in the premiership for about 8 years until he passed away in the year 1911. Now, it's very interesting. The vast majority of rabbinic opinion over here would hold that cremation is absolutely, unequivocally forbidden in the Torah, but seemingly, according to this Wikipedia article, he would hold of cremation. He would bring proofs of it, or he would hold of it personally, which is really, let's just say, against the vast majority of rabbinic opinion. And it's reported over, he requested, I think, that his body would be cremated after he passed away. And it's reported over here, using the Wikipedia article over here, that his ashes were buried in a cemetery in his hometown, Trieste. Now, I think all rabbinic authorities say hold against this over here, which I recommend everyone to do. And I think there's actually an article with regards to this online, which is just a source from it, I think from academic websites, they actually quoted this. So if everyone should double check this topic, but all rabbinic authorities obviously hold cremation is not allowed. If you speak to any rabbinic authority here, but he was seemingly a dat yachid, maybe a few other rabbis in that circle might have agreed with him or not. I'm not too sure with regards to that, but I recommend everyone. I have to bring this up because it'll be irresponsible not to. Okay, so his family, he would get married to his wife. I believe I'll just find out his wife's name in English. Her name was Enriqueta, I believe. maybe from the Bolpio family, if I'm not mistaken. I think she passed away at a young age, and they would have 3 sons, including them was once again a professor and a physician and lecturer in the Yale University. He was Arturo Castiglioni, I believe. He was an American Jew, I think of Italian descent. He obviously would live in America. I think Camillo Castiglioni also was a banker, a businessman, and a tycoon, and apparently one of the owners of the BMW engine factory is reported over. And I believe, so I think, I believe he would have other children also, I'm not too sure. And then I think 3 years after the death of his first wife, he married Giulia, I think from the Sonnino family. And I think they would have 2 sons, Augusto and also Dr. Marcello was born to him. Now, he wrote different books also. I think there was obviously, as we stated on the outset, and translation of the Mishnah into Italian. And I think there was in the Zamei HaZahav, which was states over here, I believe, 126. It was, I think, based on gematria and poems. I think that was printed in Frankfurt, I believe, at a later stage, maybe come what the year 1906, 1907, but I have to double check on the year in of itself. Remember, he passed away in the year 1911, so that would have been a few years before he passed away, if that was like that. I think in the year 1890, it came out, another book was published. He was a big writer, seemingly, also. He'd write down other things. He published the poems of Rachel Morpurgo, I think. It was under the title Ogev Rachel over there. She was an Italian poet, I think, that wrote Hebrew poetry over here. She was, I think, known as the first Hebrew poet in her circles, in of itself. And so that's interesting. Then there was another book he would write down, which called Yad Shadal, which is Toldot, I think, of the Shadal, Rabbi Shmuel Lazzato from Padua. That was, I believe, his rabbi, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was printed actually in the year 1895, if I'm not mistaken. Let's say it was addition to the Shadal's grammatical book in of itself. Then there was another Torah work, the Pe'er Adam, which was, I think, investigation work, let's just say, itself, studies on the creation man and the settlement of earth, I believe. I think this was printed 1892, and it's actually interesting. He would actually bring out a book according to Ashkenazi Minhagim over here in Italian, I think, in the Italian language, respectively, in the Mamad Har Sinai. This was the gatherings, I believe, of explanation of uniqueness of Am Yisrael, influence they had in the world. It was printed in 1916, if I'm not mistaken. That would have been after he passed away. Now, I don't know about the statuses of these books, because, as I said before, he had his opinion with regards to cremation, which a vast majority, any modern Orthodox rabbi, literally, you'll ask nowadays, cremation is forbidden, and would hold burial would be needed. So, wishing you all well. This is a historic video over here. He passed away in the year 1911. He was 71 years of age. He was buried in, I think, eventually in Trieste, in Italy, and was famous Italian chief rabbi of his time. So I recommend everyone to learn more about this topic, and just learn more within regards to the various different rabbis. We've covered already about 1,000 rabbis here in the series over here. So this happened to be a chief rabbi of Rome of his time. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about various different other rabbis. Also, please, if you happen to descend from any of the rabbis we're speaking about, let me know. Now, we're a community here. If you feel anyone's interested in watching these videos, please share the videos to other people also. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're nearly on 7,000 subscribers at the moment. So wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom, recording this just before Shabbat Parshat Bamidbar here in the city of Bet Shemesh in Israel. Wishing you well and take care.